Hi boys and girls, this is our final week on our topic of Can't Sleep Baby Bear. So we're going to be finishing our letter writing this week and then at the end of it also doing a book review. So let's get started. I will explain each lesson in detail for you guys and then there will be tasks for you to do and to upload onto your portfolio on Class Dojo. So lesson 1, which is on Sunday. This is your second lesson for writing the rest of your letter. So you already started it last week, so today I want you to continue with it. So start off by reading over the letter that you wrote last week, just so that you don't repeat yourself, so you can really know what you've already written. So follow the plan that you wrote last week, which was 3 parts, if you guys can remember. It was the information you wanted to tell Baby Bear, then reasons for why he shouldn't be afraid of the dark, and you guys had some wonderful ideas, and then also questions that you wanted to ask him. So in last week's lesson, I think on Wednesday, I asked you guys to use the first 2 parts of your plan to help write your letter. So today you're going to use that last part of your plan to finish writing your letter. And that's just when you can ask questions for Baby Bear. And they could be any questions you want. It could be what family he has, who does he live with, where does he live, what kind of things does he like to do, what food he likes, any questions that you like, but try to follow your plan. And remember to finish your letter by signing it off from you. So you would say from Miss Campbell or from whatever your name is. Okay, and don't worry, all of your letters are going to be completely different because everyone had a different plan. So just follow your plan and finish writing your letter today. Okay, so that's today's lesson. And tomorrow's is going to be editing. We're following that writing journey that we always follow in school. So writing, that was our final piece of our the green part of our writing journey, if you can remember the colours, and tomorrow we're moving on to editing. Okay, so for today's lesson, which is Monday's lesson, your learning target is to be able to edit and improve your letter. So remember, the first piece of work that you guys write isn't going to be your best, and that's absolutely fine. You just have to keep improving and bettering your work. So I want you guys to use the writing that you did the last few lessons, and if you have a pink and green pencil, great, you can use that to edit. If you don't have those colours at home, just choose some different ones. I'm going to use red and green because my computer doesn't have pink as an option. So whenever I use red, it actually is meant to be pink to make you guys think. So I have written a sentence here. This is my the start of a snippet of a letter that I wrote, and I have made some silly mistakes. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean by editing it. You can have your checklist in the back of your mind that you wrote. So most of you guys said you needed to include capital letters, finger spaces, full stops, that's for every sentence, and then Baby Bear's address, your address. You start the letter with dear, you end it with from, and also put some questions in there as well, and the date at the top of the letter. So here's a little snippet from a letter. There are a few mistakes. I'm going to go through it and correct it. So I'm going to start off by getting some red ink. I don't have pink here, it's not an option. So I'll read it with you guys. Dear Baby Bear. So Baby Bear actually needs capital letters because it's someone's name and that's a proper noun. So I'm just going to underline it here. It's not as neat as my handwriting, guys, because I'm trying to use a mouse. And I'm going to put my symbol in. So this is my symbol for capital letters. It's quite difficult. And that just means that next time when I'm writing, I'm going to make sure there's capital letters for Baby Bear. Then moving on, how are you? And the H here doesn't require a capital letter because if you look over here, it's actually only a comma. It's not a full stop. So this isn't the start of a new sentence. So the lowercase h is actually okay. So I've written, how are you? But I've forgotten a finger space between the words are and you. So I'm going to draw my little finger space if I can. Quite tricky. There we go. I need to remember to use a finger space whenever I'm rewriting it. Then the next part of the sentence, or the next sentence says, don't be afraid of the dark. I have some ideas for you. And I've forgotten a finger space here as well between for and you. So I'll do my finger space symbol. Goodness me, it's tricky. And this is the end of the sentence. So I have actually forgotten to use a full stop. So I'm going to do my full stop, tiny dot. Maybe you could use a nightlight, but the word could is misspelt, boys and girls, and we know that because that's a tricky word. So I'm going to underline it and then write the correct spelling. Oh, C-O-U-L-D. Forgive me, my handwriting's not great. It's hard to use a mouse. Maybe you could use a nightlight or cuddle a soft teddy. So that's some ideas. So I think I've gone through all of the mistakes that I've made. I'm now going to use a green pen, green to be seen, which is something that I've done well, and give myself little ticks, give myself a little pat on the back for what I have done well. So, dear baby bear, I have used a capital letter at the beginning, so I'm going to give myself a tick. I've also done a capital letter for here, don't be afraid of the dark, and that's also, look, I've used an exclamation mark, so that's good. I have some ideas for you. The rest of that sentence is okay. Maybe you could use a nightlight. Both words are spelt correctly with the I fly high sound, or cuddle a soft teddy, and the rest of that is okay. I've used a full stop here so I can give myself a tick. So that's what I want you guys to do in today's editing lesson. Get a pink and green pen or pencil or whatever colours you guys choose, and I want you to read through your work and see if you have made any mistakes and correct them if you have. Then for today's lesson, Tuesday's lesson, I want you guys to publish your piece of work. So this is the final piece of work for our writing journey. If you can visualise that writing journey train track that we have in our classrooms, it's the purple part at the end. So I want you guys to write your final piece today. It's going to be your best piece of work. And remember, in our publishing lessons, it's not for you guys to write anything new. It's not for you to write a completely new letter. Use the work that you have edited in yesterday's lesson to write your perfect piece today. I want you to really focus on your handwriting, making sure you're using neat cursive handwriting. Think of your writing targets as well, and make sure you write the corrections from yesterday. So, for example, I'm going to show you what I mean using the edited piece of work from yesterday's lesson. Okay, so here I have my piece of edited work from the last lesson and the corrected piece of work that I would use if I was publishing. And I've just realised that I've also forgotten that there's a question in this little piece of work that I have forgotten about. The first question he asked, or the first piece of writing in his letter, says, "How are you?" And that's a question. So I missed that the first time I was doing it, but that should have a question mark at the end. So if you look down at the bottom here, you can see that I haven't written anything new. It's not new information, it's not new content. It's just the perfected piece from the edited work just above. So this time I've written, "Dear baby bear," but I have remembered my capital letters. "How are you?" And I've used a question mark there. "Don't be afraid of the dark. I have some ideas for you." And I've got finger spaces between for and you, and I've remembered my full stop. "Maybe you could use a nightlight or cuddle a soft teddy." And I've spelled could correctly there, and I have used my full stop, which I did in my first time. Sorry, there's my clicker going off. So there you go, boys and girls. That's what I want you to do when you're publishing your piece of writing. I don't want you to write a completely new letter, just perfect your work that you've been working on, because there's been 3 lessons of really hard work. So use that, edit, improve it, and then use it for today's publishing lesson. Okay, the final piece of work for this topic is going to be a book review. So for today's lesson, today's Wednesday, the learning target is to be able to complete a book review. So similar to what we did for all the places you'll go with Dr. Seuss last term, I want you guys just to tell me if you enjoyed this storybook, Can't Sleep Little Bear. So I'm going to upload a worksheet that you guys can use if you would like, but I don't have a printer, so I wasn't able to print it off and complete it. So if you guys don't have a printer at home, that's absolutely fine. Just write the information on a sheet of paper. So the format I would like you to follow, it's a little bit different this time, a little bit more detail actually compared to the last book review. It says author up here. I'm going to use, let me see, I'll use a green pencil just so you can know where I'm talking about. So author is up here at the top. So we need to find the author of the book. And let me see. I've got the sequel or a different book here with me beside me. So the author is Martin Waddell, I believe. So you would write his name up at the top. Then the title of the book is Can't Sleep Little Bear. And then it says, what was the story about? If you do use the worksheet, boys and girls, it might be a good idea to get a ruler and draw some lines just to make sure that your writing stays in a nice straight line. So you need to tell me what the story was about in this box here. Who were the characters in this box here? What did you like about the book here? If you didn't like the book, that's okay, but try to think of maybe one thing that you did quite like. It might be the pictures, it might be the characters, it might be that the little bear was feeling a bit scared. Whatever you like, just write what you liked about it in this box here. And then the final part is draw your favorite picture from the book here. And then it says your rating, and that basically means you need to give it a score out of 10. So kind of like you do in your spelling test, if you do fantastically and you get them all right, 10 out of 10. So if you think that the book is fantastic, it's perfect, give it 10 out of 10. If you're not quite sure you didn't like it, you can give it a lower number, and if you didn't like it at all, you can give it 0 points as well. So that's your book review and your final piece of work for this topic. Then for Thursday's lesson, it's just to complete your weekly spelling test. So I want you guys to have a grown-up ask you the spelling words, mark it out of 10, and then send it into your portfolio so that your class teacher can keep an eye on the spelling test scores from this term. But that's everything, boys and girls. Well done. I've really enjoyed looking at your work from this topic. I've loved the ideas for how you could help Little Bear, and I know the other teachers have as well. So well done for that, and have a good weekend. Bye.